Hello everybody and welcome back to LRN and our first F1 2022 challenge on this game. So today we are taking on a last question mark challenge in the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz around the Austrian Grand Prix circuit. Really looking forward to this one. It's been a while since I've done this sort of challenge and the first time I've done it on the F122 game. So really up for this, interested to see how far we can get. We're going to do a 50% race. So I suspect at that distance, unless we get the assistance of a safety car or a virtual safety car where we can kind of get a free pit stop, we may struggle to reach the people right at the front. Being in the Ferrari, I think that the Red Bulls are just as quick as the Ferraris on this game, though we have seen in my team series that the Ferraris are probably the quickest car, so our teammate could be seriously hard to catch. I think the Red Bulls will be too fast for us, and actually the Mercedes, at least on the game, still have really good pace, so they might be difficult as well. But certainly I'd be hoping to get into the top 6, hopefully get past the rest of the grid. Let's see what we can do though. In terms of strategy, I'm going to try starting on the hard tyre. So similar to what I've done on my team episode recently, I'm going to try and run long, hoping for a safety car to get that free pit stop onto the faster tyre at the end of the race. So we're going to stick on the one stop, but starting on the hards and then moving to the medium tyre when everyone else most likely will move off of the hards off of the mediums and onto the hards. So we'll have the quicker tyre at the end of the race, because I'm hoping that even if I'm on the slower tyre, the Ferrari will still have enough pace to move us past the slower cars on the grid until in our second phase of the race, where we can then look to put the power down and maybe catch up to the guys at the front. So that's the plan. Let's get straight into it. Up to 5 red lights and away we go. It's not a great start. Obviously we've not got we were on the harder tyres, so we've not had the grip off the start. We're going to do a little bit of weaving now just to try and get some heat into these tyres, and we're going to go straight down the inside here, trying to make a move on Stroll, trying to just stay to the right hand side and give him the space on the left, not to get any damage on the car. We're going to hit that ERS and chase down Albon, just getting the tail end of the slipstream up ahead of us, so hopefully Stroll can't come back at us up to the top of the hill into turn 3. We're going to go for a cheeky move onto the right hand side there, but it's really tight here. We just don't have the turn angle to avoid any contact with Albon there, but thankfully we have avoided damage on that particular occasion, so that is okay. And we're going to follow Albon here, still only currently having made a move on Stroll, and we're going to follow Schumacher and Albon through this corner. Hopefully them fighting is going to give us an opportunity to make a couple of moves. ERS again open here, maybe look to make a move on the left hand side here, follow them through. Maybe we can go around the outside or the inside here of Schumacher, depending on what, but he's moved across and blocked us off there, so we're going to have to take our time, be nice and patient and wait for an opening here. We're going to hit the IRS, see if we can go down the inside here now on Schumacher into the right hand side. We should have the good line through here, pushing Schumacher out. Not quite enough to get Albon, but we've got that move on Schumacher, so we're up to 18th now, and the 3 in front of us now are quite slow off of the exit of that corner. So we've got Albon, Guanyu Zhou and Latifi. We might be able to make 2 moves here as we move to the inside of Guanyu Zhou into the right hander. We're going to be really heavy on the brakes into the right. Someone's tapped us on the left hand side, but again I think we've avoided any issues there. We might have pushed Guanyu Zhou out of the way to the left hand side, as we now have, I think that's Schumacher coming back at us on the right hand side, but we're going to hit the brakes. We maybe go for a switchback here and get straight onto the RS, see if we can drag him into the braking zone at the end of this straight. That'll certainly be the aim here. We don't want to use up all of our ERS though, conscious we're already down to 38%, and I don't want to be running the rest of the race already down potentially on the IRS, but we've got a really good exit there into the right hander after the downhill braking zone. It looks like we can get the move done, but Schumacher's coming back at us here on the left hand side. We leave him space, but hopefully we can carry the speed around the outside of that corner there, and we get the move done and we head through, chasing now Latifi up in 15th place, and got ourselves up to 16th after that move on Schumacher. So good place to be at the moment. Here we are then, beginning of lap 3, and we've caught to the back of Latifi. Going to see if we can get this move done up into 15th or maybe more, as we see Bottas and Vettel getting it together into the first corner of lap 3. So we've got the move done on Latifi, but can we also get a move here on Bottas and Vettel as we head up the hill? I think there's 4 cars here all in close proximity. Hopefully we can avoid any incidents. We get heavy on the brakes, trying to go around the outside here, and we get the traction at the top of the hill better than Vettel. Obviously in the quicker Ferrari, again use a little bit of IRS on traction just to give us the speed. We're going to move to the right hand side. We looks like we tap wheel there. They've not given us any space, and I think the front wing of Vettel's tapped us on the rear right hand tyre there as we moved over to cover him, but thankfully it's not sent us straight into the wall. We've kept that move. We're up to 13th. Had to do a bit of defending there in the slip, well, they've been in the slipstream, of us heading into that right-hander. But that's done. Here we are then, lap 8, and now we're chasing 12th place man Norris, so it's taken us a little bit of time there to catch up to the back of Norris, but we are looking now to get that move done on the left-hand side. DRS open, ERS on. We've got the quicker car, we're going to move up into the braking zone, but I think he's going to come back at us here, so we're heavy on the brakes, again trying to move around the side, but he's hit us straight into the right hand side, giving us no room there, no room to turn. It's such a tight hand corner, these wider, larger, cumbersome cars, he's hit us across, but again, thankfully, no damage, and we're going to stay, pressure him on the right hand side. He kind of goes deep on the brakes, so we go for a brilliant switchback move there, and get ourselves up into 12th place. So thankfully now we've moved up into 12th place and we're ahead of Norris. Obviously the McLaren did give us trouble and take a little bit of time to catch up, so hopefully it's not going to take us too long now to catch up the back of Ricciardo. Obviously every minute we spend fighting is time lost to the guys at the front. So here it's actually taken us till lap 12 to catch up to the back of Ricciardo, so it is taking some time, but we are moving through the field. I think the DRS trains in this race are just helping the slower cars carry through the race and keep that gap in front of us. But now that we're in the DRS of Ricciardo, we should have an opportunity maybe up to the turn 3 now at the top of the hill. You can see that we haven't actually gained that much gap on Norris. That's because in the DRS he's just followed us through as we gained quite a large gap on Bottas as we moved to the outside here into the right-hander of Ricciardo, but he's covered us off there in the braking zone. So we now again in the traction, ERS on, DRS open. Ricciardo has got DRS on Magnussen though, so it's not going to be an easy move here as we look to go left, but then we skip to the right hand side, look to get him in the braking zone on the right hand side. We know Ricciardo's last of the late breakers, but hopefully we can outdo him. We've done that there, rotated the car under acceleration, and we've got that move done now on Ricciardo. So another good move, and we're after the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, who's also running the hard tire. So this is for genuine position then on strategy in this race. So Magnussen doing a good race. And here we are then at the beginning of lap 16. We've caught the back of Kevin Magnussen looking to make a move in turn 1. We let him go through first there because that allows us to get the ERS open, ERS on and DRS open up the hill. So we should be able to get a good gap and avoid him coming back at us into the braking zone at the top of the hill, which we know is particularly dangerous around the Austrian Grand Prix and how close and tight it is, especially with these new cars. But we do get that move done. Now we'll be looking to chase down the Alpine of Fernando Alonso up in 8th position. Still on the medium tire, so only Magnussen running the hards. Hopefully we can close these gaps down. You look at the gap from us to Alonso and Tsunoda, and I'd certainly hope that we could get those moves done and finish in at least 7th in this race. So as you can see though, Charles Leclerc has come into the pit, so where are we going to come out versus him? Here we are then, beginning of lap 17, we can see Leclerc's coming out the pit there, and I believe that's also Perez coming out behind him. So we've come out behind our teammate, and we've also got Verstappen, it's Verstappen who's come out behind us. So Perez has carried on, he's going to be coming in on the next lap. We've got Verstappen behind us, and I'm thinking now that we can use this opportunity to help our teammate win. So Leclerc is de facto leader in this race on strategy. The people in front of him have not pitted yet, he's come in, he is currently leading this Grand Prix. And as we come through the beginning of lap 19, you'll see that we've got Perez and Verstappen now behind us. Perez looking to come and make a move on our right hand side, so he's coming back at us. We tried to defend against him, tried to give Leclerc a better advantage, but we just couldn't keep him. He's just too fast with that DRS open. We're just slightly too late going across to the right hand side to defend that position. We are going to get into the DRS zone of Perez and allow us to follow him through there, keeping the speed in that DRS zone and allowing us to defend for that bit longer against Verstappen to protect Leclerc from the attacks of Verstappen through the second half of this race. Here we are then at lap 19, and we've got Verstappen right on our asses now. He's moved to the right hand side, he's looking to make a jump down the inside, but we're going to go for the switchback as he's slow on the exit as he fired too far into the braking zone, and we get that move back up into 19th. Another good manoeuvre there on Verstappen, so that's what's in behind us, but he's coming straight back at us now. I don't know how long we're going to keep him behind, but we're going to go deep into the braking zone, push him out to the left hand side, be slightly aggressive there on the exit, and that forces him out, so we do keep that position on Verstappen. So he remains behind us in 4th place. But now on lap 20 we are coming in, so he does go round the outside of us. We need to come in now for the medium tyres. We don't want to lose too much time fighting Verstappen, as we definitely need to be thinking about catching the other guys in this race. It's all well and good helping out Leclerc, but this is all about us and how far we can get up into this race. And thankfully we get an optimal turn in there on the pit stop, so that's going to give us the maximum amount of time possible. We come out with a decent 2.5 second stop, so that's good. But where are we going to come out now of this pit stop? We obviously want to come out as high up the grid as possible. We have people like Ricciardo, Magnussen and Norris behind us, so we hopefully are going to retain that sort of position. We can see Norris and Bottas are behind us. I think Magnussen might be up the road, but surely if that's the case, obviously he was on the hard tyres as well, so he shouldn't have stopped yet, so hopefully we'll move past him. And as we're on starting lap 22, we see that Magnussen is on the pits. He's come to the medium tyres as well, and you can see on the mini-map there we've moved well past Magnussen in the pits, so we are past him in the pit stop strategy, up to 10th place on medium tyres and back to chasing down Tsunoda and Alonso. So here we are then, lap 23, and we are chasing down first of all the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda into the braking zone. We've got really good exit out of there, and we're straight into the DRS within that 1 second of Yuki Tsunoda. So we've got to use a bit of ERS on the traction zone, but we're into DRS, going for the late on the brakes into the right hand corner. We should get the traction on the exit with the fresh medium tyres and the quicker Ferrari engine in that exit to get the move done, and we do. So now we're on lap 26 and we're coming up behind Fernando Alonso, looking to get ourselves up to 8th position. So again, using a bit of ARS on traction, we're in the DRS zone, so we really want to get this overtake done as quickly as possible. We know how hard it is at the top of these hills, the top of this hill into turn 3 in the braking zone, so he pushes us out there. We've gone late on the brakes and we've locked up the wheels slightly, and that's allowed Alonso to come back through, but I think that may actually work to our advantage as we look to get the DRS open again, use a bit of ARS on traction. We're going to come in, hopefully maybe make a move on the braking zone, but he's just a little bit too far ahead of us there. He covers us off on the inside line, so we're going to have to bide our time here as we wait to make the move on Alonso. But here we are now, lap 27, maybe making a move into turn 1, no, but we do show him we're in the mirrors, hopefully put some pressure on him as he gets the back end of his car, steps out, he gets it all wrong, so he's slow on the exit of turn 1, and that's allowed us to come straight past him and drag him up to the braking zone and top hill. Can we get this move done without him fighting back at us? No, he looks to move down the inside. We get a little bit of a tap on the rear end. You see him there bouncing off our right hand side. They really don't know how to give up the AI on this game around this Austrian circuit at the top of the hill. They just don't know, but as you can see, we didn't pick up any damage, so that's us up to 8th place. We've got quite a large gap to 6th of Ocon, but hopefully we're going to get Gasly, and then we'll see what we can do to head up to 6th and where Ocon is currently. So here we are then, lap 30, behind Gasly, only 6 laps to go in this race. We're going to try and make the move up to 7th place after starting 20th, so a good race so far. We've got the DRS open, trying to save a bit of ERS. I don't think we're going to need it against the AlphaTauri. We go to the inside this time into the right-hander, and we close off that move, put the pressure, so push him off on the left-hand side, but we do leave him a bit of space, so it's not too aggressive. The stewards definitely wouldn't have an issue with that move there. We use the ERS to break away from him, break that gap, hopefully get out of that 1 second so we don't carry him around in the DRS zones. And using obviously DRS as well, because we got the DRS out of that exit rather than Gasly, and we get that move done. So here we are then, lap 36, final lap of the race. We didn't manage to close up the gap to Ocon, but as you can see, we've got a huge gap to Gasly, and our teammate Charles Leclerc has taken home the win. So our work to hold up the Red Bulls of Verstappen and Perez did work in the end. I don't know if he'd won anyway, but I feel like we've helped him out. So he's come home for a win. I'm assuming with the Red Bulls in the 2nd and 3rd. We'll find out when we go to the podium, but we're going to come round for a 7th place finish in our first last question mark challenge on the F122 game, and I'm happy with that. So I hope guys you enjoyed watching that. I really enjoyed doing it. If you are new around here, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel and do hit a like on the video if you did enjoy it. We're going to head to the podium now and see who came 2nd and 3rd in that race as the Ferrari team celebrate away, obviously for Charles Leclerc's result coming first, not my own. We see Charles Leclerc there in 1st, but which of the Red Bulls will it be that have come 2nd, and which will it be that's come 3rd in this race? We'll find out in just a second as we head to the podium. I have a funny feeling it's Perez that's actually brought home 2nd, but we'll certainly find out shortly. But as I say, guys, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're new around here. Here comes our teammate then, Charles Leclerc, coming out to receive his trophy for the 1st place finish in this race. And there we have it then, 2nd place for Perez in the race and 3rd place for Verstappen. Very similar to the My Team series that we're having, obviously, because those cars are very much from the first season of the game when you do My Team for the first year. It's not surprising that the kind of result we got today is very reminiscent of the ones that we've had in My Team. But really enjoyed that, as I said, loving these sorts of challenges on the game, and still really loving the mechanics of the F122 game and the cars. Really makes for some really good racing. So as I said, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.